Howdy folks, Taco Bonsai. Welcome back. Again, this is kind of just a journal for me to document what I'm doing and keep my direction. As I said, my next video wouldn't be for a little bit, but the Ginseng Ficus that I want to work on is this one here. I will likely put it into this pot. It's just a unglazed on the inside, but glazed on the outside pot that I'd gotten from Meehan's a couple years ago. And this is what the ficus looks like now. It didn't originally have these long extending branches. They were originally lots and lots of short ones all around, and it really had a nice compact canopy about this tall. I don't know if I'll be successful in getting back to that, but as it is now, I will just keep it alive and try to get it flourishing. And part of that includes a repot. It's been in this pot for about, well, at least a year, maybe 2 years. I'd have to look back. And it may just be that it goes right back in there, but this has got a little bit more room and it's almost as deep, so I will likely be putting it into this. All right, just a little closer in. Branch structure not really that important right now because there's only 2 branches and no leader. Twisting it around, looking at the roots really. So I will probably try to at some point eliminate this or carve it down and get it so I've got a little bit better of a flow of roots into the ground, but it really just has to stay alive right now. I think I'd started to have a larger root here and it had died. This one here may not be alive. Yeah, it's not. So that one's going to go. And we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, lots of good drainage. I had 3 in here. But as it is now, it is time to sort of get out of the pot. Hopefully I can do without breaking it again. Sorry, Uzi. He's out here helping. All right, this one may be a little bit more complicated than I had intended. Oof. Let's see here. Go and just give it a couple. Twist around. I'm really hoping to get some good. There we go. Ooh. All right, yeah, you can see lots of good drainage in there. I will save that pot at the very least. But I don't have roots going everywhere. I just don't want to have issues with my roots. Good soil still. Looks great. So let's just see where we're at. I can see some new roots right here, so I might have been repotting this at a poor time, but I like seeing these new roots. You can barely see it just right there. A good root here. It's not quite radial, but it looks like it started to wrap under. So that's something that I always want to keep an eye on with these ficus. Sorry, just adjusting my seat. This one, I virtually cut the whole bottom off it, replanted it to see how it would do. It does have some roots down there in the bottom, but it's really not doing the best job of growing new roots up high and kind of working this base out. Now, it might be that I have to reduce the foliar mass, trim off some leaves and branches, do a partial defoliation, but I'm hoping not to have to do that. Just gonna get this off real quick. It is technically kind of healthy. It just had issues in the past. So I find things like this, and I don't want to find that in my soil. But I am pleased with generally the moisture level and what looks like the health of the soil is pretty good. So lots of fine roots, which I'm quite pleased with. However, they all kind of are really long. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not sure that there is Oh, that just came right off. That wasn't even a living root. I'm not sure there's dense as I would like. I really want to get dense roots in here. This does not happen yet. They're nice though. I'm impressed with them. So likely be an easy root pruning here. Uzi, you okay, buddy? Doing some sneezing in there. I want to make sure he's not needing my help. He has allergies. People have allergies, so do dogs, and I'm sure a lot of other animals have like seasonal allergies, that is. Um, I'm not upset with this. That looks pretty good. So I did lose a couple roots that this might have been alive and I just torqued it too much, but it doesn't look like it was really alive. So that one kind of goes in the trash. I'm going to put this out of the way. Ooh. And move this up. So it'll fit quite nicely in there. I think I just need to do a little bit of trimming around the edges. I think you guys can all see. I need to work with my correct hand. I'm slightly ambidextrous, but I say ambidoodoo because I am just as awful with both hands. I don't see any bad roots. Nothing heading in really funky directions, and I really don't see anything that's so thick growing straight down. Everything fits quite nicely, and I can flatten it out on the bottom if I really want to. So I won't do that. However, I will get it set up with some nice, dense soil to get it back on track. I've already got my drainage screens in here. Ooh. I've slightly modified my makeshift soil scoop here. Yeah, I like this because it sort of sifts it for me again. Let's see. I think I really like that. I'm not worried about front or back so much as I am just worried about growth. And it fits this way. One thing that's nice about not necessarily ginseng in general, but this particular tree is it does have a nice broad base. So I can really just place it. It won't fall over. I don't have to worry about tying it in. It's not very far on in development, but it is hopefully going to get a little farther this time. So I'm going to work out. Usually I try to work, radiating out from the tree first, and then I'll do a little more tamping the opposite way. A little holding on there. Not a lot. I think usually once I get this all kind of worked in, it looks pretty good. Sorry if I blocked the view there with my hand. Again, I'm working on the opposite side of my little balcony here from where I would normally work. She's back in. I don't want to lose them. This is purely baked soil. There's no extra stuff in here. It is just bonsai soil, no fertilizer. I will be fertilizing it, but not just yet. I am encouraged to see that new root, but just the one new root that's probably pushing growth down, which is what I would like to see. It may be a sign that as the weather gets cooler, I'm going to have some leaf drop and maybe even a little bit of dormancy so it can store some energy in the roots, and I am more than pleased with that because that's what I'd like. All right, I think that's close to good. I may have to put some more on here, but I think I really got pretty good. I you can see when I turn it this way and try to tamp it in, it doesn't quite penetrate all the time. Sometimes it just kind of makes a little dip in the top, and that's just tamping. It's not, working in any soil is just tamping to get all the settling out of it. And I don't want a huge amount of tamping. I just want a little bit, just to keep it moving. I got a little piece of broken pot in there that I do not want. Of course, that passes the sift and bake test because it's glazed, but I don't want it in there. It's not helping anything. I think that'll pretty much do it. Now, I had good roots on there, but I think I'll do little stuff like just taking off the little dead end there. So it's not, but it's close. It's not. That one's not. Yeah, I think at this point I really just need to let this thing grow and recover. It looks slightly healthy, but not nearly on the level that I want it to be. I'll take this off here. I think it's still kind of flat below the surface, but not doing any favors for me, In fact, in this case, I think I'm going to try. These are sharpened up. They might be capable of doing a little bit of a, yeah, just a little bit there. They're not nibblers, but they're closer to nibblers than those shears are. So, just trying them out. Just get a little bit of, you can see on this side, there used to be stuff up here. I'm not even sure that part of it's alive. There's some life. We'll see what happens. Yeah. If nothing else, maybe this will help promote some healing. Because really I'd like to get things healing nicely. You can probably tell they're sharp. They're just not the correct tool for the job. So hopefully this helps a little bit. Not a whole lot done on the top side there. Now I will, well, before I wire it in, I'll collect all my bits out of here so I don't waste them. Now I'm just going to water it in. Let that soil really run down in there. Now this should run clear quite rapidly, but I want to really soak in all this soil. Give it a moment. A little cloudy. Not bad. I really like this watering can. It does a good job. All right. I think that's going to do it. Sorry, folks, not trying to be dramatic. I'm just really good at it. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. Ooh. All right. Rather a short video, but that's okay by me. I don't need to do a whole long video on this one. It wasn't a whole lot to really be messed with. Ooh, I missed a spot. Up here on this branch, I got some dead stuff to take off, so I'll do that. Just taking it off. As you can see, just right here as well. And this isn't particularly vital that I do, but I do like to clean things up when I can. You can imagine that I lost quite a bit of this tree in the past to die back and all that, so I probably should be more conservative with just trimming things willy-nilly. But I am glad that it is in better shape. I did have a little bit of time there where it just didn't seem like it was going to make it. So for it to look this good at all, I'm quite happy with. Now, although this isn't the best branch and this isn't the best branch, it does actually have pretty good movement to it. So if I can get some back budding, what I'll probably do is I will hard cut it and see if I can stimulate some more back budding back here. To get that back budding, I'll zoom back in again. To get that back budding, and it's easier if I turn it towards you, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pinch off the new growth here. And it's going to send energy back down into the tree, hopefully. It's already sort of sending some energy back down in there. Now, I may not be going deep enough with these pinches, but really, I don't even have to pinch back all of it, I don't think, just to get the desired effect. I just need to get some of it pinched back to kind of slow down the top growth and have it focus on bottom growth. All right, so this branch is all pinched back. Just double check in here. Yep, missed a spot. That's good. Excuse me. That's good. And this one right here, I think, will be the last one. All right. This should start to send quite a bit of energy down to the roots. It's got more than enough foliage, but not too much foliage, of course. So hopefully, come this time next year, it'll be time for another repot, and this one will be ready. So I'll give it a little spin. Nothing groundbreaking. Just still growing back in there. And I don't have any reason to trim the top because I don't have enough top to trim. I'm pleased with this branch. This branch is okay. I'd like to have it directed downwards a little bit. Excuse me. Maybe I'll be able to put a cutting on here and kind of do a funky thing that way, grow some roots over. But as it is now, it's just keep working on the base, continue to develop what's left of the trunk, and hope to get some budding up here. There used to be buds up here. There used to be branches every which way, which is really cool. And that's really it. And again, I don't really have much to do for a while. If I do get an excuse to do something, I'll of course video it and upload it for you folks. But everything's in good shape. I don't have nearly enough trees to do more. Everything is just going to be growing and being supervised. A bit of good news, my smaller willow leaf ficus is starting to get some buds ready to pop on it. My larger Ficus triangularis has not changed at all, but that's not bad either. Same thing with the little leaf ficus that I fear I won't get back. That one has not really changed much. I won't repot that because I just did, I believe. But I am anxious to see that one do well. Everything else is looking good. The only exception maybe is that every once in a while I get a yellow leaf on one of my ficuses like this. And I believe the last couple I've noticed have been just old leaves to drop off. So this isn't goodbye for a while, but my next video may not be bonsai related. I might just be putting something up that's unrelated. You folks saw I worked this down a little bit more. Of course, through all the work I did on it, I've worn off some more of the finish. That's a little closer to steel. Just blended it. It still looks like a fork. It looks like a rake. As well, my concave cutters, I went ahead and shaved down the top here. There's still a gap there. I might still take it down more. You can kind of see it's rough right now. But the whole goal there is that to have more effective cutting area on this, because before that top part wasn't effective, it would kind of mash it and then fall apart. So I'll see how well these sharpen up. If I get a good edge on them that connects all the way across, and these will be ready to go for a little bit. I would, if I get the opportunity, I'll probably heat up one of these sides and curve it so I get a little better grip. So when I'm using these, I'm usually using them like this, and have a little something here to keep my, give me grip there will probably help. But we'll see. They work all right for now. And then I use these a little bit today. These are just like nibbler pliers. They're not for this purpose, but I will say when they're nice and sharp, they work fine. Sharp, clean tool. Doesn't have to be the right tool. It just has to work. And I will probably, if these continue to work so well, I will probably do longer handles. Sorry, handles. I will probably put longer handles on here so that way I can use them better. They're very small right now. They work, but they're very small, and I will easily be able to either cut these off and weld longer on, or just put extensions on, weld it on, and I won't have to worry about too much torsion and having very solid welds because this is a very small tool. It's not doing anything other than just maybe, you know, pulling up a little bit of skin. And that's all I can think of. Again, future Taco, if you're watching this, listen to things I said. I'm sorry I can't give you any hints as to your next repot the next time you watch this Taco, but that's okay. For everyone else who watch, comment, like, subscribe, but mostly comment. I want all that feedback. I want all that teaching. Teach me what you know and correct what I was learned wrong. I've probably picked up a lot of bad habits. One of those is definitely speaking too rapidly. So I will work on that as well. But hopefully the audio was good. It seems as this new modified microphone has been doing a better job. And I just look forward to seeing you folks on the next episode. Thank you all. Cheers. Take care of yourselves.